Hello everybody, it's Christine. Today's layout is going to be a Disney layout. We went to Disney in September 2020. It was my mama's birthday, and this picture was actually on my mama's birthday. So I'm pretty pleased with those pictures. We look so cute standing in front of the castle. What I'm going to work on today is a sketch posted on the Disney Scrappers Instagram. And honestly, I picked it because it has the two photos. One's a 4x6 and one's a 4x4. And these pictures, while they're not actually identical, they're very, very close because they were just with, somebody took them for us and we were basically, it was click, click, click. So I'm going to keep one of them as 4x6 and one of them as a 4x4. Just for the, that's a total lie. I just sat there and told y'all that. And I actually decided one of these is going to be replaced with this here. So what I may do, what I decided I might do is cut this into the 4x4 and organize it over the top of this so it's kind of 3D. I just sat there and changed my mind as I was talking. So, but I wanted this to be the 4x4. That's what it was, because it's not never too old to wish upon a star, and it's her birthday and all that. Then I'm going to do, for my papers, I've got quite a few little options here because I have a whole bunch of Disney stuff that I've bought. And nice, these folks are so nice. They make all the colors almost always coordinate. So what I'm going to do, this is going to be, where am I at? I think what I'm going to do here is, this is going to be my background. And I know this is going to be, that's a total lie. This is going to be my background. This was going to be the big sheet that was kind of there. This was going to be a little square. And then I had, this is going to go across the bottom where the long title kind of will be. And I had it in my head. I'm thinking I'm going to mat this yellow on black. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know why I pulled this out now, unless it was to maybe mat the pictures. I'm going to have to think on that for just a second, because I cannot remember now what I was thinking. Because as you can tell, I have started and then stopped and decided to do different things. So what I'm going to do is put you guys on fast forward as I work through this, and then I'll just narrate over it, because I've realized that if I try to talk through an entire layout, it takes entirely too long. So let me get the base kind of set up, and then we'll come back and I'll let you guys watch me scrap this on fast forward. Okay, so what I actually ended up deciding to do was use one of my new circle dies I got from Hip Kit Club to cut out the picture. Now I'm going to cut out some of this because, well, I end up messing up if I'm 100% honest. I did not have that circle die all the way on the picture, so I end up with a tiny little bit that's not part of the die. You can see right there. And the nice thing though is these dies have like a little bit of a stitching detail effect on it. So I used it, and I cut this part out, but I used it to cut that edge circle off there. So you can't really tell anymore that I didn't catch the whole circle. And then I decided to put that little circle piece up on foam tape. And as I mentioned, they weren't quite identical, but they're so close it's unreal. And when I lay this on the top of it, it basically creates a 3D effect with the photo. You can do the same type of thing if you just print the same photo twice. I've seen it done neat, kind of neat, where you might use a circle punch or something, maybe even different sizes, and you can punch out little different pieces and create basically an accent on your photo by doing, something like that with a little 3D effect. So you'll see here I'm kind of dry fitting it, and then I'm going to end up, I got to trim that tiny little bit off there. And then I'm going to use my tape gun here. Of course, I end up making a mess with them a little bit still. I get this all over my fingers. And y'all, I'm going to apologize if you're triggered by Band-Aids. I have one on my thumb there because I was skinning potatoes this morning, and there was a little bad spot, and so I shoved the deal into the potato, and it slipped off and cut my hand, or my thumb rather. So I have this ugly little Band-Aid, so my apologies for that. I did decide to ink the edges of the yellow paper. Normally I might actually gut the cardstock or the paper that I'm putting the background on, but to be honest with you, this is a black cardstock. It's something I have dozens of them, so I didn't find it necessary. This way it's just nicely supported anyway. So anyways, I'm going to, it takes me just a second to kind of wiggle this around and get that on there. Honestly, it's probably not even 100% straight, but it is what it is. It's handmade. So I just eye it, kind of get it on down there. And then I'll start trimming my little Disney paper. So I'm looking here to see, okay, that looks good. That matches the sketch, a 4x6 and then a 4x4. So here's where I'm actually, I guess I don't even know what I'm doing, because I was looking at this, I'm going, oh, okay, I need an 8-inch by 7-inch. honestly, it should have been 9 inches tall. But it worked out okay because, honestly, there's quite a bit of it that's behind the photograph. So I ended up cutting it at 8 by 7, which is really a tad too short. But because there is the photograph and that horizontal element, I'm able to just cut that and stretch it. Right now, I'm looking at this going, oh, that's not quite long enough. But that's okay. Like I said, I'm going to have the horizontal element, which in this case is going to be this So Many Fun Memories. But then I think I decide, oh, I better cut my little blue piece first. The blue pieces, no, I guess I don't. I go ahead and cut this. Y'all, I really just did this an hour ago, so I'm so crazy that I can't remember. I also thought to myself, I had this So Many Fun Memories piece, but there was a little horizontal red, white, black stripe above it, and I thought, oh, I might can use that too. So I left it attached originally, and then I trim it back just a little because the sketch did show the right-hand side had a little fishtail banner, and I thought, well, I don't want the white one to be fishtailed. I'll just fishtail the red one. So I started to do that. I'm off camera, so apologies for being off camera while I'm cutting that. But in my head, I was thinking I might leave that. And then I thought, okay, well, I need to fishtail that. So then I trim it just a little bit and then do the little fishtail. And then I looked at it and I thought, no, that looks just stupid. Just follow the sketch, Christine. You don't need to add that extra piece there. There wasn't any real reason to. It just looked pretty to me originally, and I thought, oh, I'll use that. And then after I set it down there, I go, no, that's just not going to look right. So I go ahead and trim that off. I'll use it on another layout. It's a nice little stripe, but, you know, it's just not going to work on this one. Now, that piece is just a tad too long, so I will end up trimming that back closer to the little camera film roll. I get a kick out of that little film thing because does anybody use film anymore? Maybe professional, but I'm not even sure that's true because I feel like professionals anymore do so much editing. They don't use film. They use digital, but it's a cute little embellishment, right, on that little deal. So I'm trimming out that blue, and that is a 6 by 6. But again, I end up looking at it and going, that's not quite long enough. I really want to add a little length to it. But again, it was okay because the horizontal piece kind of hides, you know, what's going to be there. So I kind of, again, I'm starting here and I'm dry fitting this thing, looking to see where's it going to go. And I said, okay, here's where I'm going to trim these two pieces apart. And I just cut them to give myself the length. You see there, I'm basically stretching it. Again, that was not my original intent. I mean, I have a lot of Disney paper, not that I have unlimited amounts, but it wasn't like this is something I had to do to make it last. But, you know, in the end, it's okay. And then I go, oh, yep, I need to ink the edges of these. Now, here's where I kind of mess up. Y'all, this little sponge here on my ink dauber is kind of old, and I probably need to switch it out because it's kind of dropping little, what is it, ink dust pieces or something off of it. And sorry about the head. And I end up, but I've got it on top of my layout. It's dropping these little ink dust things, and I don't know if you can tell or not, but on the little you're never too old to wish upon a star, I get a little small ink dust thing, and it kind of makes a little mark on it. I'll try to erase it. That might be on camera. I don't remember now, but it doesn't go away. It was kind of disappointing. It's not extremely noticeable, but just, I guess my caution to you is if you got your little ink dauber and stuff, don't do it right over the top of your layout because you'll be sad if it's dropping stuff. Here's where I'm looking to see, okay, I know I can make this work with the photos because I've stretched it. And I'm, again, just trying to figure out where to dry fit this. And then I said, okay, I need to mat this picture on black cardstock. Actually, to be fair, I planned to do that all along. I just forgot to grab it, so I had to go get it. So here's where I'm trimming my photo mat. I don't double mat or anything like that. I don't even put these photos up on foam because I'd already done the little center, the little circle piece on foam. And I really did want that to be kind of the star of the show where your eye goes kind of right to it. Now, that being said, I do put some foam underneath some of the stickers and stuff I use later, but just from a photo standpoint, I don't add any additional dimension to the photos themselves. Now, you'll think right there, oh, she's not going to mat that. You're never too old. Yep, I do. I'll end up matting that as well. Just for the moment, I'm just trying to figure out where do I want to trim my little horizontal piece. I just need to get these photo, I don't even know what these are called, these base of my photo pieces kind of squared away so I can start laying stuff down. This layout actually came together pretty fast. I mean, as I recorded it, the thing that took me the absolute longest, well, there's two pieces. One is this part right here because I had messed myself up and didn't cut them as long as I really should have. So I had to kind of fiddle fart with it to get it the right length. So that took me a few minutes. And then the other piece that I actually took a little bit too long on, I shouldn't say too long, that's not really accurate, just took me longer, was the picking out of the stickers. I probably have 10 sheets of Disney stickers. And I've said this before, when you have so much to choose from, it becomes hard to choose. So, and actually in the inspiration piece, initially I was planning on doing kind of what the inspiration piece did, which was they had little embellishments all around the outside of what in this case is my castle paper. And I started to try to do that, but for me, it felt discombobulated. Like I didn't care for it. So I decided, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to end up doing little clusters. I guess that's just a stylistic thing because it looked cute on the inspiration sketch, but for me, it just wasn't going to work. So here's where I'm deciding, okay, I need to make this thing the same location. And I started trying to use I thought about using the ruler, and I thought that's just goofy. Just flip it upside down and match it all because you'll be happier with it. So that's what I did. And then I'm going to end up trying to use I have to, again, I end up sticking, it's scrapping, what is it? Scrapping down or top down scrapbooking or something. I don't typically like to do that because it is tricky where you're starting and working your way down and backwards. But in this case, I'd already put that red piece of paper down there, so I had to do that. Okay, so that's all where I want it. Now I got to go get the black cardstock for that. My little journaling card there. So I've grabbed my black cardstock, going to mat that. I was going to do that the whole time. I just had to go get the cardstock. And cut it just a hair too big. So I think I got to trim that just a hair to make them the same size. I think you can kind of see where I was talking about the little ink dust stuff on the card right there. It's in the lower left corner. Again, it's not exactly noticeable, and I almost considered putting an embellishment or something there, but frankly, I decided not to. I think it's fine. Nobody's going to pay any attention to it, and this looks fine just the way it is. So here's where I go ahead and plop this little guy down. And this is the basic layout here. I do go, now the sketch actually had some journaling underneath the blue, mine is blue here. I pulled these two little pieces out. I have ephemera and some puffy stickers, but they were from a collection that's just slightly different blue tones. It's a little grayer, and I ended up deciding not to use those. So I'm in the sticker sheets, and I have so many stickers anyway. It's like, Christine, just use some of these goddamn stickers. There's just tons and tons of them. And the crazy part is I have like 4 sheets of the same design. You can see them there. 2 sheets of another design. I couldn't tell you how I ended up with that. I must have bought the same collection multiple times. But generally that's okay, right? Because it's all the same color scheme and all that. But now I have all these 6 stickers the same. So that's okay though, right? It creates, kind of cohesion throughout the album. So I start kind of picking out stickers, building up the little clusters. Again, if I'm honest with you, this does not take me that long, only because, other than picking the stickers, because I just have these 3 little clusters I'm going to end up building. I'm not actually sticking these down too hard because I know some of them I'm going to want to add a little foam tape behind them, and I don't know which ones yet. So I'm kind of going through and just finding stickers. Now, again, on the sketch, there was journaling underneath that blue. So I found these little word, or I guess they're phrase, horizontal little ticket, like fishtail banner ones and like ticket looking things. And I think those look cute down there. And I find 4 of those that look pretty cute. I will come in a minute and put some foam tape underneath a couple of them just to give it some interest. Then I decide I have a little too much space on that blue. The sketch sheet was a little narrower, and honestly, again, the journaling was actually underneath it. I'm going to end up using the blue for my journaling because it's not real long. It just kind of talks about it's my mama's birthday, but I still didn't like how much of it was showing, so I decided to add this little border sticker right there, and it looks kind of cute, I think. And I have about 4 of them, so it's a good opportunity to use the sticker right up underneath there. And it takes me just a second because, of course, I've got to stick that thing in there. And also I have to look down so my head gets in the camera. And I have to wiggle with this just a minute. It's just got to be just right. Okay, let me go back to the sticker sheets. I'm going to find some more stickers. And I decide it's like a star balloon looking thing because it has a little tail to it. And then I actually end up finding, I don't know if I do it right now. I might find it in a minute. But I find another one that's like a blue heart with a Mickey ear on it. I start to put some stars up there in the upper right, but I go, it's a little too scattered away from the other one. So I move those stars over to by the little Oh my gosh, what was it? A viewfinder, the little viewfinder thing. Oh, y'all, those were so cute. I love these little viewfinders. Did y'all have a viewfinder when you were a kid? I used to have them, and there was all kinds of pretty pictures and cartoons and all the things. You'd push the little button, it'd turn into a story. Anyway, I have a lot of little stars on the sticker sheets, and I just love that. So I end up creating 3 little clusters of stars. I do end up popping only one of the stars up. Okay, I'm looking at that little heart there, and I'm thinking, oh, I really want to use that. It just doesn't work, so I don't put him on there. I do end up finding this camera, and I stick it behind the heart, and I end up moving the heart to on top because I think that looked a little better. I set that there. It'll actually get picked up and raised on foam tape in a minute. And again, I'm going back into, here's where I found that other little balloon. I'm like, okay, I want to have these staggered up here. Just building on that cluster. Again, I'm just really building out 3 clusters. That's the basic design here. It's just a pretty basic visual triangle. I really wanted to use this first timer because it is her first time. But I didn't like, it was a little too big. It was competing with the heart, and I figure, you know what? I've got another place to put it, I'm certain. I'm not going to worry about it. So it ends up coming off. It doesn't stay. I'll end up replacing that first timer with some more stars because it just, like I said, it just was too big. So I'm going to find some more little stars. And I've added some, I find another little heart. The nice thing about these sticker sheets, if you have to kind of look just because your eyes will gloss over them if you're not careful. But there's all these little tiny hearts and stars, and they all match. So it's kind of nice. You just find the one you like and plop it down there. So that one right there is going to end up on foam tape eventually. But for the moment, I'm just finding ones that kind of make out the little clusters. And there we go. And I'm going to add, I think I'm going to keep coming. I think this might be where I start doing the foam tape because I realize I need to start doing foam tapes here because I want to start adding the dimensions. So yeah, this was my mama's birthday trip. We'd actually gave it to her, if you want to, I'm going to use rabbit ear quotes here, gave it to her 2 years before because it does take, if you've ever been to Disney, you know it takes forever to plan and all the things. And so it was actually 2018 that we told her we were taking her. And so we said, hey, this will be your birthday. We gave her like a cupcake and a little basket of things. It was all like, Disney themed or whatever for that birthday, but it included basically telling her that we were taking her for her birthday. And just because of timing with family things and this and that, we knew it would be in 2020. That was the plan. And we had we'd gotten with the travel agent, the year before, bought all this stuff or, put all the monies down. And then of course, the world went crazy. And I'll never forget the travel agent calling us in I guess it was April or May. And she said, okay, this is all going on. Do you want to try to reschedule? And I said, no, this is for my mama's birthday and I'm believing it's going to happen. And y'all, I was never so proud that they opened that goddamn park up in July. Now, granted, there was a ton of restrictions, which made total sense. You had to wear your mask all day, every day, from the instant you left your room to the instant you got back to your room. But honestly, it was fine. It was not that crowded. And the staff members were doing the best they could, and everybody did the best they could. There was a lot of accommodations with, meals and things like that. Now, we knew the difference because we had been to Disney before. The only kind of downer was, there was no outdoor shows. Any kind of show was actually indoor, and I think it's because indoor they could control where you sat better. Outdoor was more bench seating type stuff, and they couldn't control how close people were. So there was no outdoor shows. So that's kind of the biggest disappointment in one sense. But on the other hand, my mama had never been, so she didn't really know what she was missing. So she enjoyed everything. Honestly, I'll never forget, coming up to this castle, man, she was so excited. It was like, oh, it's Cinderella's castle, and she was so cute, and it was actually on her birthday, which is the reason we're all wearing, we all have t-shirts on that say birthday squad, and her little t-shirt's pink, and it says birthday girl, and she was just adorable. And she got to have, I think they gave her special pins and things, and so everywhere she was going, it was like, oh, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. And it was really cute. The whole time she was there, the cast members just did a great job. And so she had the best time. And she's in this little wheelchair here because, she'd gotten breast cancer that year too. So she'd been through some treatments and stuff. And so she really wasn't up to walking all the time, but worked out all right because my husband enjoyed pushing her. He did it as exercise, I guess. He would run with her, and she had a great time. We tried a scooter, but she kept running into stuff, so that was not going to work. So we switched over to a wheelchair, which worked out way better. So anyways, that's the story of our day there. Well, not the day, but, you know, the whole trip and everything. So I've gone through, y'all seen me doing all the foam tape there. Again, just picking various different elements. The balloons got lifted up on foam tape. The heart with the Mickey ear got lifted up on foam tape. One at the lower left corner, the little black and white polka dotted heart got lifted up on foam tape. And then, like I said, a couple of those word phrase stickers got lifted up on foam tape. I do find this little dark castle looking thing, and I kind of tuck that down in there just to add a little bit more oomph. And then I find a teeny little phrase that says good times, and it's so tiny. I thought it was so cute. I ended up putting that up on the top of the heart up there, right there on that. He goes a little higher than that, but right there. And I think that looks really adorable. I thought about enamel dots. I thought about a bunch of things, but honestly, there's the stars on the back of the background paper, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, you know what? I'm not going to do anything else to it. This is cute enough. It's simple, but it's fun, and it's bright, and it's colorful, and I think it really tells the story. And plus, I really kind of like that 3D photo element, just letting it kind of be the star, in a sense. So, add my little journaling. It just says Mama's birthday. She got to visit the castle. Her smile was our best gift, and then just puts 9/20. Because that's when it was the month and the year. And I'll slow it down in just a second and show you the close-ups, although the lighting is a bit weird because it is late in the afternoon here. So let's see if I can get this to you. So you can see those lifted up, the dimension, those little clusters. And you can even see the photo there with the shadow behind it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you feel inspired. And if you have any Disneys, go ahead and get on that Disney Scrapper Instagram. They have some cute ideas. Talk soon. See you next time. Bye-bye.